Yo, what's going on, guys? Fearmaky here, bringing you a exclusive video on HeroSiege Season 12, and we're going to talk about the state of the game. We had the opportunity to speak with the lead game designer, the game creator himself, Elias, on the state of the game, and we're going to be diving into what he has to say, what's going on, and what's going to happen for the future, long term, short term, etc., all of that. But before we dive into the video, guys, I want to thank you guys very much, man, for all your support, all your comments, the whole nine. I appreciate everything, and the community on HeroSiege is extremely positive. I've seen some comments here and there in Discord. It's just people have nothing else to type that it's toxic and toxic here and there. I had nothing but overwhelming support and positive vibes from everybody I come across in the game, whether they're reaching out to me on Discord, whether I'm talking to them, via text, whatever. It's nothing but positive vibes. The community is crying for help. They're crying for information. There's nothing toxic here in this community, so don't think that. Anyways, guys, coming back into the content here with Elias. So obviously we've had a lot of disconnects, a lot of issues with the game since it launched, and I reached out to him last night, and I'll go through my messages with him and share it with you guys, and then you guys can, determine for yourself what's going on here. But it's positive, nothing but positive. So I reached out to him. I said, hey, can you explain to me the server size, the cap? Is it a server issue or a coding issue? Or is it available for player slots per servers? I'd like to come up with some ideas. If it's a server cap needing to increase, and if monetization is something we could do in game to help with that, let us know. I'm willing, to pitch in on DLC products to help out server capacity. And that's what I, left it with, because I'm sure everybody's frustrated, but we need to do something about it to help. Not only just complain and bitch at the developers, right? So Elias reached out to me. Wooksy also responded. Thank you for responding, Wooksy, as well, which I'll get to the his comments. But Elias said pretty much is their servers is their own machine. They have memory leaks in the system. The machine it's only run at about 10% capacity right now, so there's way more capacity than needed. Bandwidth is not a problem. What's going on is the system is just poorly optimized, since the server engineer who handled the system only worked on it as a hobby for 8 years, and they have never had this type of issue before with the game. But now that the game has become so big and so many systems introduced into the game, the part-time server engineer does not have any more time to work on the game at the required attention that it needs. It needs a full-time server engineer, and the guy that was working on it doesn't have time. Pretty much said, I can't help you anymore. It's too much going on. The game's too big. I got a full-time job myself, and as much as I love the opportunity, I'm okay where I'm at. So that leaves us with the issue that the server is having. According to Elias, it's not the game servers, it's the save/load/login server in the database that's having an issue. And really none of them really know what's going on or anything about those systems. And the new guy coming in is going to need to learn the new system, as he described it, the massive system. He needs to learn it and understand it before he can fix it. So I responded, I understand. If you don't mind sharing some more, maybe I can, in my own way, try to explain to the community what's going on. So I asked, when is the new guy starting? Is it a full-time position that he's going to be working on optimizing the game servers, or is it part-time? Maybe reach out to the community, see if someone, is a server engineer or an expert that is willing to take on the task. The game is growing season by season, and the content that I'm creating for your game is getting crazy attention, which it is. Since season started, the exposure to the game has been quadrupled. It's really crazy what's going on with HeroSiege right now. You know, views wise, player base wise, and it's only going to get bigger if they polish the game, you know, and invest more into it. And Panic Art Studios and Elias is investing more into the game. Everything they make, they're putting back into the game, and they want nothing but the game to be successful, obviously. You know, and they do have huge plans for it. So what he told me is on March 15th, they have a new server engineer starting his full-time position, which then on March 16th, they're going to be getting on a conference call with the old server engineer, you know, to go over the massive system, what's going on, and pretty much, you know, pair up notes and, you know, pretty much get the new engineer caught up to speed, or as much as he can, so that way he can, you know, take on the task of stabilizing the server, helping the login servers, the database, the issues that we're having. All right. So he did respond to me that the guy is hired as a full-time position now. I guess he went to Hive to learn deep server engineering. If anybody, you know, is familiar with Hive, he also went, which is the school from Supercell. If that makes any sense to anybody, you know, I told him that's great news. So we should expect to see results, you know, within that week or a couple of weeks after that, you know, but it will get better. It will definitely get better. And, you know, he did respond back that, you know, they do invest in the company, and everything they make, they invest back in the company, and they want things to work. I threw out ideas out there, say, hey, you know, how about, you know, giving the old engineer, you know, a financial bonus, something, you know, for the next couple of days, so he can at least stabilize the servers. But the guy's so overwhelmed with his full-time job that he just doesn't have the time to tackle on this task. So in a way, because the game is just so big, the system is so involved, and yes, there is a coding issue, there is a login issue with the database that needs to be addressed, and it will be addressed. You know, but it's gonna, may not be this week, guys, but definitely the following week, you know, so we have to be patient and wait for that. So in addition to that, the big news also that I want to share with you guys, aside from the obvious of what's going on with the servers, is that, excuse me, and I'll put it up on the screen here for you guys to see, is I asked Elias if, you know, what's his plans for the game? You know, what's the plans for HeroSiege? You know, are you making a new expansion? Or is it just Act 8 in Jotun? You know, what's going on? And he responded, our plans is to bring more content such as the new Valhalla expansion, Act 8 plus Jotun, new free content like dungeons, bosses, season mechanics, new skins, a new class, maybe a talent rework or an extension of the current talent trees, and of course, better and more stable servers and quality of life DLCs, like more stuff. And there's a lot of things that he wants to do, which is huge. They haven't really focused on paid content, and I think that's a bad thing, and I'll tell you why. As much as HeroSiege is a game, and we are gamers at heart, at the end of the day, guys, you need to understand that it's a business. Nobody is going to be working 8, 12, 16 hours, 18 hours a day, which is the typical actually game developer, game creator schedule. You know, they overwork, never have enough time, and never have enough money to create and to bring their creativity to light. You know, I've been gaming all my life. I've been, you know, around the gaming industry for so long, and I think it's something that people don't really bring to light to the game developers. And I grew, you know, growing up as a little kid, I had huge aspirations to be a game developer, to create games. Obviously, as I got older, my career took me a different path. But now I look back, I'm like, wow, I'm sort of glad I'm not a game creator or game developer, because these guys work 18 hours a day, are underpaid, never have enough funding to bring their amazing creativity to light, and only get negative, you know, a lot of negative comments and feedback when the game doesn't work or when there's not enough content, you know. But if you look deep down, guys, it comes down to money. If you have money and you have amazing, enthusiastic and ambitious, developers, you're going to get amazing content. But you can have the greatest developers in the world, but if you don't have money to fund those ideas and nourish them, it's not going to be a good game. It just isn't, So with that being said, I want to ask you guys in the community to please leave in the comments below of this video any ideas you can think of that is not going to make the game pay to win, but it's going to make the game, help the game get monetized. Any good ideas, either skins, seasonal stuff that we can get, cosmetic stuff that's going to help the game, fund the game, so they can, provide more staff. So right now they're hiring a full-time engineer. They need a full-time map developer. They need, Wooxie needs help with balancing the game and testing the classes. They need, new designers and creators for new dungeons, new systems, in place. All of that stuff to make the game the best it can be. I mean, HeroSiege has huge potential, huge opportunities. And I think with the right money behind it, the right people behind it that are passionate, to fund that, I think this game can be way more than what it is right now. Way more than it is right now. And one thing I want to add that I suggested to Elias, and something I would like to see that I would pay for, is a skin, wings preferably, for each season, not only as a reward at the end of the season based on the leaderboards, because that should come automatic as it has for every season, but I would like to pay for a skin, a set of wings, for season 12, for participating in season 12. So that way, as you play the game and you have history with the game, you're like, hey, I have the season 12 skin because I played the game, I bought the skin, I supported the game, I'm all about that. I also have the skin for, being rank 1 or rank 3, on the leaderboards, throughout the season, which is not paid for, don't get me wrong. But I would certainly pay $5, $7, $10 for a skin, a angelic, whatever, wings, on my character. The moment I log into season 12, I can purchase it and show, hey, I'm in this season. This skin is exclusive to this season. I participated in it. I own it. I support the game. I want to see the game grow. That's something I would definitely do. Also, a stash increase, throughout the season. That's, for the season only, where you can dump all your items in the stash, mythics, or whatever, and you can go through it after on your other accounts, on your alternate accounts, because there's so many great mythic items that allow you to get into Inferno difficulty that, you have no room in your stash later on, to put it there. A feature could be, a filter, where you auto deposit all your mythics into your stash, or filter them by, cooldown reduction, physical damage, or whatever. Those quality of life perks, to have that for a season, I would pay that every season, to be able to auto deposit, auto filter an item by a certain stat threshold, because that's going to allow me to better gear my primary character and also my alternate characters. I think those are amazing ideas. Obviously, I don't have the answers to everything, so I'm reaching out to you guys to ask you guys for help. Please leave in the comments below any monetization ideas that's not going to make the game pay to win, because I don't want that. Elias does not want that, and nobody wants that, okay? But I'm also a firm believer that the game needs to be funded. I'm also a firm believer that, hey, if I have money and I want to spend my money, I don't want you to tell me how to spend my money, okay? If I want to buy a skin from a game because it looks cool to me, I want to have that opportunity to do that. I want a skin for my mercenary ranger. I want a skin for my mercenary melee guy, that when I equip him, he has a badass skin. I know it's already in the game with the Steam loot boxes, but I want the opportunity to, hey, instead of gambling on the loot boxes, let me buy the skin outright. So that way when I equip my mercenary and my ranger, they're looking badass, tiered out of their minds, with gear. And when you check me out in the lobby, you can see I got big ass season 12 wings glowing, that I'm a supporter of the game. My ranger mercenaries, skinned out. That's something I would certainly pay for. And you know why? Because I know that money is going to go towards future mechanics and systems into the game that's going to make the game better. and I'm all about doing that. I think, in my opinion, HeroSiege is undersold. You know, it's going for $1 on Steam. You know, as much as that's great, it really isn't, because it doesn't provide a financial stability for the game to get better, right? So, I mean, I think HeroSiege should be going for $10, you know, on Steam. And I think there should be more DLCs. There should be more cosmetic stuff that we can support the game with, because it's easier for us to criticize the game and be negative, but nobody thinks outside the box. What can we do to make the game better? And you know, I want to focus the community's energy towards that. Okay, one last thing I'm going to leave you guys with. I know it comes with the territory. Okay, yes, I am playing Samurai for season 12. It's an amazing class. Excuse me, like all the other classes are. But please, I know some people won't change their mind, but they think, Max, you know, or Fearmaky, you test all the classes, you have insider information, you spend so much time in the game, this and that, you know, probably because you're playing season 12, it's because that class is broken or it's overpowered. No, it's not. You guys check the leaderboards. Pyromancer, one class that I said at the very beginning, when I, excuse me, when I did the beginner leveling series, I told you guys, Pyro is going to be amazing trash clear. It's going to be the fastest farmer clear, and it is. And it's very weak on the elite and boss damage, and it's, you know, very glass cannon. But to that point, the Pyromancer guy, which I was talking to on Discord yesterday, and we were going through builds together, he's the #1 wormhole clearer right now in the season. From when I checked, able to clear wormhole 100, clear bosses just fine. So proven that not only is the Pyromancer amazing at map clear, but they also can compete at high end. Also, I think a Shaman, you know, one of my friends was telling me today, Shamans are way up there in the wormhole. So don't think for a second because I'm playing Sam right now, you guys see me playing Sam right, that's the class that everybody's gonna play. Play what you like, play what you enjoy. People do message me and I do give them some inside information, you know, to help them. You know, I tell them which classes, you know, are really weak that we're testing out live, which classes, you know, are good. And I'll continue to help you guys with that. But don't just think that because I'm playing Samurai, that's the only class out of 17 classes and 34 talents, you know, trees that are available to the game, that's out there. You know, there's way more to the game, guys. And there are way better classes and stronger builds than what I'm doing. Absolutely there is. It just hasn't been discovered yet, and we haven't tested it yet. I have not tested all the builds yet in the game with the new sets, and we will do that as the season continues and as we continue to play the game and learn together. And yes, I do have information on all 17 classes. I do have inside information. I do a lot of testing. I do have feedback from the community that plays those classes exclusively. So yes, in a way, I do have an advantage on as far as information over other members, and I'll always help you guys out with that. That's my job. I want to do that for you guys. But anyways, not to lose track of the focus, guys. That's what's going on with the servers. March 15th, March 6th, a new engineer comes on. March 16th, video conference with the old engineer. Hopefully by the end of that week, we'll see progress. You know, till then, please keep supporting the game. Please go out and buy the DLCs. Please post ideas or monetization ideas that's not going to be pay to win, that can help support the game and help grow. And if you're an artist, a server engineer, you know, you're a coding expert, you're a game developer in any way or any sorts, reach out to Elias, reach out to Panic Art Studios, you know, and, you know, tell them your position and what you like to do to help the game out. You know, let's make the game a great game, guys. The ARPG genre is an amazing genre. And yes, we have PoE, we have Last Epoch, we have Diablo 3, we have Grim Dawn, you know, which stopped support on the game. You know, they're going to be moving on. But HeroSiege is a hidden gem. And there's so much potential here. And there will always continue to be, as long as we as a community support the game as opposed to bash the game. You know, instead of complaining, do something about it. You know, come up with an idea, you know, help, you know, purchase something that's going to support the game. But anyways, there's so much potential with the game, stuff that hasn't been discovered yet. And it's an amazing game. You hop in, hop out, you know, grind out some dungeons, kill some enemies, get some XP, burst the map. You can see yourself getting powerful from normal difficulty, nightmare, hell to inferno. The progression is so nice and it feels good, you know, to do that. I will have builds for you guys on how to get to inferno with only mythic here, and you guys are going to be absolutely blown away. Also an exclusive video on how to absolutely trump inferno difficulty with just some quick things you can do with your friends early on in the season. It's something that I did that I discovered for the first time, and believe it or not, luck of the draw, you know, some would call it streamer privilege or streamer luck, or content creator luck, ended up being, you know, I think the second best slot and weapon for the samurai and for our groups, you know, that allowed us to clear content pretty quick. But I'll be sharing that in a video here shortly with you guys as well, and you guys can certainly do that. One tip I could say is farm rubies. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for your support. Thanks for everything, man. Please don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and please, over 80% of you guys that watch my videos on HeroSiege are not subscribers. Please hit that subscribe button. It's free. It helps me out, helps the game, and it will help you, because if the game is being supported, it's more content and more stuff for you guys. Also gives me the ambition, you know, and the time to create additional content for you guys as well. That way you guys can just come in and say, hey, what class, what talent is good? You know, how does this class play? I'll be creating those contents to help you guys with that. And that's because of your support and because of your feedback. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me jump back on HeroSiege and grind. My buddies are messaging me. Hey, where are you? Where are you? You know how it is, guys. It's tough to find a medium between playing and creating content. I know last season 11, I stopped playing altogether. I wasn't even on any leaderboards, I don't think I was, because I was just so overwhelmed with testing and doing meta builds, accurate meta builds for you guys. This time around, I'm going to try to find a medium where as I'm playing, I'm also creating content for you guys, and I think it's going to be good because it allows me to play the game and enjoy it, and also create content which I also enjoy for you guys. Okay, you guys take care, stay grinding, man, and we'll see you on the next one, and roll deep. Woo!